Hi everyone, today we'll discuss what direct proportion is. So let's say we go to a market and we track the price of eggs and the number of eggs that we are taking. So we see that if you're taking 6 eggs, the total cost is 30. If you're taking 12, it's 60. If it's 24, then the cost is 120. And if it's 48 eggs, the cost is 240. Now this doesn't make sense as is. But what if we divide the number of eggs divided by total cost for each of the number of eggs? So let's see that. So number of eggs divided by total cost. Let's see for the example, 6 eggs costing 30 rupees. So we have 6 divided by 30. And we know that 30 is 5 times 6. So we can cut it. And this is 1 and this is 5. So this actually in simple fraction would be 1 by 5. What about 12 eggs costing 60 rupees? Let's see that. So we have 12 eggs. So 12 divided by 60. Now 12 into 5 is also 60. So we can cut this. This is 12 1 and this is 65. So this is also equaling to 1 by 5. And let's see the third example also with 24 eggs costing 120. So we have 24 eggs divided by the cost 120. Now 24 into 5 is also 120. So we see here after cutting we get 1 here and 5 here, which is equal to 1 by 5. Now this is not a coincidence. And this is too similar a pattern for math to actually make a law about it. Now see, since all the ratios are actually amounting to 1 by 5, we know from previous classes when ratios are equal, we say that they are in proportion. So we can say ratios that are equal to each other are said to be proportional to each other, and so the total cost is proportional to the number of eggs purchased. So that is one foundational thing that we discovered, that the total cost and number of eggs are proportional to each other. But that's not it. Let's take a deep dive into this pattern. So if we keep this pattern here, we see that 6 into 2 is 12. And even the cost is doubling because 30 into 2 is 60. Okay, let's take the other one. So if 6 into 4 is 24, we can also see that 30 into 4 is 120. So here also, whatever amount the eggs are increasing, the same amount the cost is also increasing. Let's see the third one. So if 6 into 8 is 48, we also see that 8 into 30 is 240. So this again is a new pattern because now we know that whatever amount the eggs are increasing, the total cost is also increasing the same way. So we have total cost increases or decreases as the number of eggs increases or decreases. Now I've also written decreases here simply because if I went from 12 to 6, then the number of eggs have halved and the total cost would go from 60 to 30. So the total cost would also have halved. So the total cost increases and decreases as number of eggs increases and decreases. And this is a special kind of proportion in which the total cost is directly dependent on the number of eggs. So we call this direct proportion. And the marker here is that whenever both of these increase or decrease together, we say that type of proportion is a direct proportion. So if we go back, we see that this is our definition for ratios being proportional, but that's not it. We got a new definition which says that when two quantities increase or decrease together, they're said to be in direct proportion. So we can slightly change our wording and say that it's not just proportional, but it is directly proportional. The total cost is directly proportional to number of eggs purchased. Now this really helps us in a way that if someone asks us the question that how much would 60 eggs cost, all I need to do is let's put 60 eggs here. And since they are in direct proportion, the number of eggs have increased from 6 to 60 is the same amount the total cost would have increased. So 6 into 10 is 60. So the total cost would also have increased 10 times. So that's 30 into 10. So that's 300. Now for proper clarity, let's see a question in this. So this will cost 300 and our question is, if 20 kgs of rice is needed for a family of 4 members, how many kgs of rice will be required if the number of members in the house increases to 10? So let's first write down our data that we have, the knowns that we know. So we have people 4, consuming rice of 20 kg. And what we need to find is if the number of people increased to 10, how much rice would be consumed. And this is a case of direct proportion because we can assess that if the number of people are increasing, the rice consumed would be more. And the minute we assess that this is a direct proportion, we can also say that the amount the people are increasing from 4 to 10 is the same amount the rice would be increasing from 20 kg to the new amount. And so, as the number of people increases, the quantity of rice will also increase, and by the same amount as the number of people. Now, the amount that the people are increasing would be 10 divided by 4, or in proportion terms, we can write it as 10:4. And this should be equal to, if we consider this as x, then the amount rice is increasing would be x divided by 20. And when we write the proportion like this, we also know that for proportions, the product of means should be equal to the product of extremes. The means being here 4 and x, and the extremes are 10 and 20. So using that, product of means is equal to product of extremes. We can write that 4x is equal to 10 into 20. And now if we divide both the sides by 4, we get that x is equal to 10 into 20 divided by 4. And since 4 into 5 is 20, we can cut the numerator and the denominator. We have 1 here and this is 5. So, and 5 into 10 is equal to 50. And now this is a great application because now we know that 10 people would consume 50 kg of rice. So that's all about it. Thank you.